What we measure, we can improve. That's how, as a coach or an English teacher, I find the best ways to help my learners succeed. Things can get tough, and improving isn't easy. The key is to assess the progress they are making, to know what they can do, so I can give feedback that will help build their confidence and keep them motivated. With Cambridge, assessment is integrated with learning, helping me measure and guide my learners' progress, so they learn what they need to succeed. To get the most from every moment, to help their worlds grow. Because Cambridge is where your world grows.
All right, teachers. Well, good morning and welcome, to our session today. Today, we're going to be talking about four corners. All right, four corners. My name is Medardo Mendoza. I'm a professional learning and development consultant at Cambridge University Press and Assessment, Mexico, and it's a real pleasure to be today with you today. To begin with, I'd like to share this podcast. I don't know if you're familiar with it, if you've ever heard of it, if you tried it, if you've used some ideas expressed there. My colleague Joseph Dak is sharing the link to it in the chat box, so that guys, you can go afterwards after the session finishes. You can go and check it out. All right, guys. So I like to before I start up with this. I like to read whereabouts you are joining on. Joining from, guys. Where are you based? Where are you based in? Well, let me see. So, UTES, UTHH. Okay, so that should be which? Oh my God, my acronyms are not that good today. Universidad THH. Sorry, Celeste. I, I, my guessing powers are not that sharp today. So what about Conamat? Okay, great, David. Welcome to the session. What about are you joining in from, guys? Come on, tell us. Share. Don't be selfish. Okay, Conamat. Okay. Anybody else from any other places? Come on, guys. Okay. Upmis. All right. Manuel. Right? How about the rest, guys? How about the way you might be seeing me looking up and down? I have no condition. I have two screens, my monitor and my computer, so you might be noticing that I'm looking down and up. Okay, so Acapulco, great. Select Acapulco, Cesar. Fantastic. Okay, so guys, so let's hit the road today. And just before we start our session, I think it's important to bear this in mind. So the session is being recorded, so don't worry if you need to then uh, watch it again to recap, to review a couple of things that you might find interesting, then you can come back and watch it anytime. So CONAMAT, UNP, okay, Universidad, okay, so de la Huasteca, Hidalguense de la Huasteca, oh, genial, genial, okay, great. Oh, sorry, my Spanish is betraying me here, guys. So another point to remember, guys, to bear in mind is the recording will be shared after the session finishes, so that you can go and watch it again if need be. So just make sure that your audio and internet connection are working properly throughout the session. If you need to, for a reason, you need to leave the session and then come back, then you can do it. Yeah, because of this connection, probable potential issues. And at the end of the session, guys, please don't forget to scan the QR code so that you can get your certificate of attendance. All right, so now let's get down to business, more serious business with four corners. Would you please in the chat box write if you are a new user, please write new. And if not, you simply write I know, okay, 4 corners, new or I know 4 corners. Come on, guys, tell us in the chat box. Are you new to 4 corners? Please write new. Or if you are not new to 4 corners, please write I know, new, okay, new, new to 4 corners, okay, new, okay. I can see that there's lots of new people. Okay, new, okay, okay, brilliant. Okay, guys. So, okay, it sounds like there are many new teachers today. So, Konamat, Todeo, Elizabeth, hello. All right, guys. So, all right. So then I'm pretty sure that for all those new teachers to 4 corners session is going to be quite helpful. And even for experienced teachers, you have the opportunity to review some essential concepts, yeah, features in 4 corners so that you can make the best out of your class time, guys. Okay, so now let's continue with it. So now I'm going to share the agenda. So today we're going to take a look at what 4 corners is, what it brings to the classroom, its components. Then I'll walk you through a unit, and then at the same time, I'll be sharing some ideas on how to teach with it. All right, guys. So let's watch a little video about 4 corners first.
Four Corners is a 4-level American English integrated skills course for adult and young adult learners. It takes learners of English from beginner level all the way to strong intermediate. The new edition has a fresh contemporary design with a real-world feel that students will relate to. Four Corners Second Edition gives your students the language they need to communicate with confidence.
Okay, that is what 4 corners is in yep, in a nutshell. And now, as you heard it on video, yeah, so 4 corners covers the four levels, A1, A2, and B1. We count on this B1 plus, which is the as the current video says, strong intermediate. Yeah, so that the students, when they enter the grounds of B2, they are better prepared to tackle it. So, question: what's 4 corners second edition? Well, I said it is the series, a 4-level series that ranges from A1 covers AA1 to B1 plus. Yeah, it's American English. Yeah, yeah, and components. What it offers for you guys. So students book with digital pack. By the way, all this I'm going to show, yeah, may not be all of them relevant to you. If you needed any further fine detail, please approach my colleagues, yeah, in the sales team. They'll be very glad to assist you. I'm just going to show you all the components this series offers. Yep. So students ebook with digital pack, full content with digital pack, teacher's edition with complete assessment program, teacher digital pack, presentation plus, ebook with audio, digital workbook, downloadable audio, downloadable video. Okay, so the full contact with digital pack includes a student's book with digital pack, workbook, and video activity worksheets. All right, guys. But once again, guys, to all this might be too much information for some of you. But if you needed any fine details, then you need to approach my colleagues. Yeah, the ones that visit your school, serve your school. Okay, guys. So now we claim that 4 corners is different, yeah, from other course books. But what what makes it special? Okay, so and to do it, I'm going to now share a video with you with one of its authors. You might know him, yeah, J.C. Richards. Let me share this video with you. He'll share some insights about four corners.
So the four C's that we identify with the course, of course, are clarity, can do, confidence, and communication. So let me just say a little bit more about why we've sort of used those phrases to identify the strands of the course. First of all, clarity is something for students and teachers. We want the material to be transparent, to see how the flow of activities works, that there's no puzzle involved in thinking, how am I going to use this activity? What am I going to do with this activity? What kind of language output does that require? So for all the student tasks where students are asked to say something, we provide models. So this output is carefully modeled. That's important for students and also for teachers. So that's what we mean by clarity. The goals of the course are also clearly stated through in each unit, through the in the introductory page. We identify the goals of the unit. We also identify the goals of each lesson at the bottom of each page. So that's really what we mean by clarity. Can do refers to the performance that the student is able to undertake at each stage within the course. There's a lot of interest these days in outcomes. What can people do, having invested so much time at a particular level? What can they do as a result of all this learning? And that's why it's increasingly seen to be important to state these outcomes in terms of behavior or competencies. So can do, on the one hand, refers to what the students will be able to do at the end of every lesson, so they can see very clearly, now I can discuss my family, now I can talk about my school, now I can shop, and so on. Of course, for the teachers, we can also think of can do for the teachers, because can do refers to what the teacher will set to achieve, what he or she should be focusing on, what outcomes he or she should be emphasizing. So the teacher sees that the unit is not just a random set of activities that are there to fill up the page, if you like, but are building step by step incrementally towards those learning outcomes. Confidence. Now, confidence is a big issue in language learning, because learning a foreign language takes a huge amount of time. Students have studied English probably when they come to this course. They've studied English in public schools. They haven't really felt that they've learned anything, and so that's why they're going to an institute, because they feel they've not learned enough to really satisfy their demands. One of the first things that suffers, of course, is confidence, because for years they've been studying from books that are probably very grammar-based, very reading comprehension-based, geared towards perhaps a university entrance examination or some end-of-school exam that never really develops any communicative skills. So there's a confidence barrier that we have to work on, and so we do that by setting very small targets for them, which are still meaningful, because we take a topic even at the intro level and show that they can say quite a lot about that even with restricted language. So showing students that they can actually acquire some communicative ability even using very restricted and simple language is a way of building up their confidence. They can see that they can now do things. And then we show them the videos. We show even with the simple language that you've got, you can understand very natural conversations of the kind you might hear in the real world. Confidence. Communication, of course, refers to the fact that the course is organized around a number of different strands of communication, covering the four skills of listening, speaking, reading, and writing, but particularly on the practical skills involved with using language for oral communication. So each lesson has a communication activity as its core. That's the end point of that lesson, if you like. So we build these strands throughout the course: clarity, can-do, confidence, and communication.
All right, guys, how about that? Well, that is precisely what makes Four Corners special. And now I want to try a memory test before I move on further into the session. So what are the four C's, let's say, JC Richards just shared with us, guys? Please write it in the chat box. Who dare take on the challenge? What are those? Would you please write them in the chat box? Yes, I know it's a memory test. Okay, clarity, can do, confidence, and communication. Well done, Manuel. Well done. Yes, that's it. Yeah, clarity, can do, confidence, and communication. That is what makes Four Corners stand out. That is what makes Four Corners, yeah, different. So we call it the can do course with measurable outcomes. So it's clarity, can do, confidence, and communication. I'm just going to run quickly through, yeah, what JC Richards is shared just with us. Yeah. So Clarity in the sense of all the lessons are carefully staged, so there's a measurable outcome at the end of each lesson, as JC just pointed it out. So that'll help you guys deliver your lessons in such a manner that your students can see the extent of their achievement. Okay. The same, the can do. Yeah, you have a can do statement. You'll see it. I'm going to show it in a few more minutes. If you had the opportunity to look at the book at the end of each lesson, there's a can do statement. So and those are linked to the Common European Framework. So and those can do in four corners describe what students can do at the end of that given lesson. So that will help them see the extent, as I was telling you, the extent of their learning, yeah, the progress they are making. Confidence. So as JC Richards expressed that, it's important that the students develop this confidence so that in four corners, there's ample opportunities for them to start building on their confidence. So because no matter how much language they know, if students are faced with these opportunities to use the language, there, of course, their confidence will boost, yeah, and hopefully that'll be a, a source of encouragement to carry on and become what we all expect them to be, effective language users. All right, so communication, guys. In terms of yes, all the activities, and you'll see it when I'm later on when I present you, when I walk you through a unit. Yeah, you'll see that all the activities, all this grammar, this vocabulary, this language is being organized in such a way, yeah, that students can communicate in both spoken and written forms. All right, guys. So this is it. Yeah? So Four Corners second edition, in short, is closely correlated to the Common European Framework. So with these kind of statements in every lesson, so that'll help the students measure the progress they make as they go through the learning process. Four Corners is a learning tool with a manageable grammar and vocabulary syllabus, which provides a firm foundation for effective written and spoken communication. And Four Corners second edition is also this learning tool with plenty of interactions in the lessons so that students can engage with this task from a personalized manner. I want to show you straight away from the beginning this idea of personalizing language is present in Four Corners so that they can speak with confidence, yeah, not only when they carry out the task, but hopefully when they go out the classroom and then they need to use the language. So Four Corners second edition is a learning tool with clear and carefully staged lessons with measurable outcomes. So measurable outcome, once again, it might sound repetitive, but the fact that we have these can-dos that make it measurable. Yeah, so that these Four Corners can help you guys deliver successful classes so that you can help your students see the results of their learning. Now let's take a look at Four Corners. I'm going to show you now how it is organized. Yep. So Four Corners, yeah, will be organized in this way. You have a unit opener. Unit opener it'll be the same structure. Unit opener and 4 lessons. So this is the unit opener. Starting way from the beginning, guys, you will have a unit preview. There will be a highlight of each lesson. Yeah, lesson A, B, C, and D. So, of course, there will be I was telling you that straight away from the beginning, the students are faced with these opportunities to personalize language. Together with this, look, okay, see, and this warm-up activity, students are faced with the opportunity to personalize language. Look at the pictures. make 3 sentences about each one. How are you different now? Okay, so straight away from the beginning, the students are given the opportunity to personalize the language. No matter how much language they know, they have the opportunity to use it meaningfully. Then lesson A. Lesson A and lesson C, they are very similar in terms of the content. Okay, so lesson A begins with vocabulary. Yeah, so vocabulary is presented, yeah, in this way, in this manner. You have images, yeah. You have the written form of that vocabulary. Sometimes students may need to match, yeah, the image to the word. There will always be this audio, so students will have the opportunity to listen and repeat, yeah, and then they'll have the chance to work on it, practice it. Then they'll be faced with this vocabulary in context. So they first they look at it and then they see how it works in context. So, and this is important, guys, that it's not only the vocabulary that is being reused, but also is grammar exposure. Yeah. So in this language in context, students are exposed to the first grammar item of the lesson. See, so they work with the vocabulary. They are exposed to the language, and then they also have the chance to do some personalized practice, meaningful practice. What about you? What do you usually do on weekends? Yep. So that'll be the first part of lesson A. The second part of lesson A is the grammar. So the grammar that is being just previewed is now explicitly shown to students so that they can start working on it. Yep. So clear and organized presentation of the grammar. It includes control and personalized practice. See? Control and personalized practice. Yep. So clear presentation. So we highlight the items students need to focus on. Yeah, this will be a mix of deductive and inductive grammar presentation. This what we call guided discovery. So we guide students to discover the grammar. Then they are given the chance to practice it. And of course, they have this control and then personalized practice. Okay. Then we have pronunciation and speaking. So we remember this idea of building on confidence. So we start, yeah, getting students by presenting them with these small tasks. They start growing their confidence, and then they can do a statement. As I said before, every lesson, yeah, finishes. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, so I'm sorry. Okay, so I was telling you guys that, yep, it finishes with every lesson finishes with a can do statement, what the students can do at the end of the lesson. So that gives you focus, that gives you this clarity. If you as teachers, you know exactly what the students can do at the end of the lesson. So everything you do in class, everything the way you plan it, of course, the teacher's book is there to help you, to give you ideas on how to do it. But you have this clarity in terms of what the students, yeah, can do at the end of every lesson. Then we have lesson B. Lesson B is more of a functional, yeah, language lesson, conversational skills lesson. So it begins with these interactions, which is going to introduce the practical functional language that students can use in real life. Yeah, let's take a closer look at it. Tip. You kidding? Tip. So the real world language students will be using in normal, in real life communication. Oh yeah, really? What? You kidding? See? So that is what you see in interactions. Yep. So of course, the idea is that you help our students focus on language that is going to be helpful, yeah, to sound more natural when your students use those that kind of language. Oh yeah, oh really? You kidding? What? So that is uh, for them to sound more natural. Yep. Then that was the first part. The second part, then you have a listening and then a speaking. Yep. So students can have the opportunity to develop real listening skills by using strategies. See that like the ones suggested here, top down and bottom up. Yep. So look at it. So if you look at it, listen to Diana and tell her friend about the past week, number the pictures from 1 to 4. Okay, so see, they have to use all the kind of strategies, such as, I don't know, first looking at the pictures, imagining, yeah, reading the pictures first so as to have an idea of the action, so that when they listen to the audio, they can connect, yeah, in order these actions. See, so they're using these visual elements to inform their answer, a strategy in listening. So, and like these guys, you will have with 4 corners, you will have lots of opportunities to help students develop these skills and strategies. Okay, so as JC Richard said it in on the video, so there's speaking in every single lesson. Students, yeah, are given the opportunity to develop their communicative competence, at any time possible in 4 corners. Like in this case, yeah, we have a communicative tasks that enable the students to personalize the language. All that they've been faced with, then they have the opportunity to use it here in this speaking task. Speaking tasks are organized. Yeah, they are organized in parts. So as Jason Richards said it, so that these granular tasks they match with each other, they're scaffolded in such a way the students can start build on this confidence, becoming more competitive competent, in terms of communication, so that they can see the progress they make through the learning process, which is very important, guys. You might agree with me. Then lesson C, as I told you before, is very similar to lesson A. They as vehicles to present the vocabulary and the grammar of the unit. So here we start with vocabulary. Then, we don't have language in context. We have a conversation, but it serves the same purpose. See? So it exposes students to the grammar that is coming. It is used to recycle, to show students how the vocabulary is used in this context. And then, similar to lesson A, we have the grammar presentation. Yeah. So, and then speaking. And look at this. I don't know if you noticed that in lesson A, you also have this keep talking. I didn't point it out in the previous one, but in lesson A and C, you have the same endings. That is the last activity is keep talking. Is further speaking practice activities that students need to go at the back of the book and in order to do them. So, and they'll come at the end of lessons A and D, guys. Now, quickly, lesson D. Lesson D is a mix of skills. It's a mix of skills. Lesson. So with a focus on writing. So it can start with, this is a typical start structure of this lesson D. We begin with a reading. So these readings, of course, we use a variety of real-world text types, articles, blog entries, reviews, yeah, etc. Okay, so the idea is that students can develop this a variety of reading skills, yeah, skimming, for example, scanning, deducing meaning from context, inferring meaning, etc., predicting, yeah. So and of course, these reading exercises, yeah, are meant to help your students develop strategies such as identifying keywords, using visual clues, yeah, identifying the topic sentence, etc., etc. Right, guys? So and of course, and I'll show you later on, the way this structure allows the students to promote this personalized discussion, because readings in or skills working in four corners follow that well cycle we are familiar with pre, while, and post, which I talk about in more detail in a few more moments. Okay, guys? So the second part of the lesson D, then we enter into writing. So you will have writing will be organized in such a manner that students can produce the expected text, and of course that they receive a sample. Yeah, they do some analysis of the sample, and then they produce a similar text. See? Lesson D also includes listening. It doesn't necessarily mean that the four skills are going to be present in lesson D, guys. So it might be only three of them. But something that is true, that is speaking, will always be there. Speaking will be in the four lessons. There will be a speaking activity in the four lessons. All right, guys? And of course, needless to say, I've been saying it, but I just, yeah, confirm it. Yeah, the lesson will finish with a can-do statement. I can talk about past activities. All right, guys? So that will be lesson D. And then, as I said before, everything starts with a unit opener, and of course, finishes with a wrap-up. The wrap-up in at the end of every unit in Four Corners is organized into two parts. The first part is the quick verb review, which is a review of each lesson's vocabulary and functional language, yeah, through lively pair work activities. So the students, yeah, are asked to work in pairs to do it. Okay. Okay, that is the first one. And then the second one, in the real world. So in the real world is an activity, it's a section, let's say, in this wrap up to help students, or to better say, to encourage students take the learning outside the classroom, to use English, yeah, outside the classroom for a non-typical classroom activity, like in this case. Look at it. Did anyone else do the same things as you yesterday? Go online and find 3 English-speaking bloggers. I don't know, you might change it. Go online and find 3 English-speaking, what, TikTokers, Instagrammers, whatever, YouTubers, who did the same activities as you yesterday. Then write about them. What activities did both you and the characters do yesterday? What are the characters' names? Where are they from? Then a little report here. Yeah, bloggers in me, I don't know, Instagrammers in me, whatever. I played basketball yesterday. 3 YouTubers also played basketball yesterday. Diego, yeah, he's from California. He played basketball with his brother. Yeah, so that is the purpose, is that the students take English outside the classroom. Okay, so now, guys, I want to get into a little bit more a deeper detail on each of in a unit, so as to show you how this idea of communicative language teaching can happen when you do, yeah, when you teach with 4 corners. So, yep, we start off, as I said before, from the beginning. So by providing the students with this opportunity to use the little or much language they know, yeah, so that they can start building on their confidence and, of course, developing their communicative competence through these personalized tasks. Okay, then look at this. How this is how the activities in 4 corners connect with each other, help the students develop skills and strategies and build on their confidence so that they can become more effective communicators. Tip, that is lesson A. Look at this, how they connect. Okay, so the vocabulary, as I said before, yeah, connects with language in context. It is recycled, it is used, but at the same time, yeah, it serves as a vehicle to face students, to expose students indirectly. It's just indirect exposure to the grammar. See? So we have vocabulary. Vocabulary is show in context. Of course, in between, the students are given the opportunity to work, yeah, with the language, to practice it in a meaningful manner. Yep. Then grammar follows the well-known cycle: presentation, practice, and production. See? So we present the grammar, we give them the opportunity to practice it, and then to produce, yeah, to use that language to produce, to say something in a meaningful manner. Yeah. Or if you have a look at this here, it says, which sentences from part B are true for you? Tell your partner. Yeah. So it's a grammar exercise, but students are given the opportunity to make it, to practice it, to use it in a meaningful manner. Then that'll, of course, if we think of it, the same presentation, practice, and production, that serves as the basis to then get students work on the speaking part. So see, that is the way the lessons activities in the book are structured, so that students can build on this confidence. They can strengthen their communicative competence, so they can see the extent of the learning, and of course, to make it easier for you guys. Okay, so and then they keep talking. They keep talking, as I told you before, is this extensive speaking practice, further speaking practice that comes at the end of the book. The material comes at the end of the book. Okay, so and the can do at the end of this lesson. The students can give reasons for personal changes. All right, guys. So now, lesson B. Once again, look at it, how it is. Yeah, it is structured. 3 activities and how they are linked together. So the first one, yeah. So interaction. The students are presented with this functional language. They're given the opportunity. By the way, yeah, you see this in this lesson. This is a life skill, by the way, guys. I'm going to share some material on life skills later on, but let me show you here. Life skills, learning or learn to learn, yeah, categorizing, organizing information. Yep. So in four corners in this lesson, in lesson B, you'll find very often, if not in every lesson B, you'll find this. Yeah. So students can organize, yeah, categorize the language they go learning. So I was telling you, so then that it is connected to what follows. So the language here is the same language they're going to be faced with in the listening. And of course, as I said before, yeah, your your listening skills are organized into terms of in terms of before or pre. You might know it as pre, while, and post, before, while, and after. Yep. So there will be a before they listen, look at the pictures in part B. Where are the people? So before they listen, they engage with it. So in order to prepare them, it's a warm up, yeah, a lead in to the listening. So then the while listening task, the after, even though this is the not precisely a productive skill, the less sorry, this exercise activity C is considered an after because it's what the students do with the information they just found in the listening. Okay, identifying the listening, and then we have the speaking. Yep. So the see how it is structured, how it connects, how every activity is scaffolded in such a manner when they get to the speaking task, they have been faced with how examples of how the language is used, how the language is produced. They've been having the chance, for example, in interactions, you might wish to get them to after they listen to the conversation to read it out loud, to practice it in pairs. Yeah, so that they can get more familiar with it. They can also learn the pronunciation, the intonation, so that when they come to this speaking task, yeah, they also, yep, they are fully prepared for it. And even the speaking is organizing the before. So before they speak, yeah, they make some notes, they complete the table, then they carry it out, yeah, in a way of rehearsal, and then they do the production with the yeah, share the most interesting news you heard. Okay, guys. So that'll be yeah. Oh, sorry. What did I do? Oh my God. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Forgive me. Let me just go back to reshare. Could you please confirm that you can view my desktop? I don't know. I hit the wrong button. Can you confirm you can view it in the chat box, please? Can you view it? Can you view my desktop, guys? Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Okay, so so I was telling you guys, so then that is lesson B. Let me just quickly go to lesson C. I hear it when I do it. Of course, they can do lesson C. Yeah, same. Let's see how they connect. So lesson D, lesson C, yeah, is similar in structure to lesson A, but in lesson C you will have pronunciation. Yeah, so pronunciation will be a feature that you'll find in lesson C, and then the keep talking, yeah, will be there. And of course, everything will round up with the can do statement. I didn't spend much time on lesson C because that is exactly the same, except from the pronunciation content that is in it. Okay, so now lesson B. See, Okay, so what I've been telling you guys, all these are organized into, yeah, before, while, and after. So, um, lesson skill skill lessons, skills content, like in this case, reading, dreams and aspirations. They organize, they follow this pattern. We all know it. Yeah, that is it's been proven to work. So we do something before students engage with answering a reading task. Then they have, in this case, they have two while activities. So they have two reading activities. Yeah, both may serve two different purposes, but there will be two activities, and then there'll be an after. Yeah, what the students do with the information they have just found in the text. So here is when you guys you can, yeah, you can use your creativity, use your experience, and of course use the ideas in the teacher's book to teach this lesson. But whatever you do, guys, especially in reading, guys, it's not that I and I'm against, and I would never say no to this. But guys, reading out loud reading out loud gives the opportunity to help the students develop the skills and strategies. Because in real life, when your students, let's say that your students take an examination later on, or let's say that your students need to read something for the work, yeah, in the future, yeah, that reading out loud in class with a reading text, a reading lesson like this one I'm presenting now, doing that is not going to help them, yeah, understand, yeah, the ideas of from that text that they will have to read in this situation I'm telling you, at school, at work, yeah. So guys, don't miss the opportunity to help the students develop the skills and strategies with these activities, these skills lessons. It is reading, go for the reading. Help the students develop these skills, these strategies, skills such as skimming and scanning, strategies such as using visuals, identifying keywords, reading the instructions, understanding what is needed to be done. See, but guys, and then if you wish, after they finish with the reading, you might wish to ask them to read out loud. But just food for thought, guys. How often in your life, how often you read out loud in Spanish? How often do you do it? How often do you take a news article and then you start reading it out loud? How often do you do it, guys? Okay, so food for thought. So don't miss the chance to help the students develop skills and strategies here. Yeah, once again, strategies such as identifying keywords, using visuals to predict the content in the text. Yeah, so skimming, scanning. Yeah, so as to confirm that the words you use in as keywords, yeah, help you inform your answer, etc., guys. All right. So, and the same with listening. Listening, by the way, once again, something very important to bear in mind in your daily life situations. How do you feel when you're speaking to someone and the person says, "Can you say that again? Can you repeat it?" Okay, so you repeat it. All right. So you say it again, and then the person looks at you and says, "Hmm, can you repeat it? How do you feel?" Okay, well, guys, this is the reason why we suggest that when you do listening, yeah, you only play the audio twice, because in real life, yeah, apart from the fact that standardized examinations only let you give you the chance to listen to the audio twice, in real life, when somebody asks you to repeat the same more than twice, yeah, that doesn't work, let's say. All right, food for thought, guys. So, but the same guys, before your students do listening, make sure that they understand what they need to do. Yeah. If there's a pre-listening activity, yeah, uh, go for it. Yeah. Like this, listen an interview with an athlete. So I see that there's no interview, no pre-listening. So I probably do a pre-listening. I may ask my students to, hey, look at the picture. What can you see in the picture? What do you what can you tell me about the picture? How can you? Yep. So I do something before I get them to listen, yeah, to the interview and do the task. See, but guys, bottom line is skills in Four Corners are meant to help students develop skills and strategies. If it is reading, not to read out loud, that is not the main purpose. If it is listening, not to repeat the listening 5 times, yeah, it's only twice. So you just make sure that you support them, you give them enough support to do it. Right, guys? Okay. So, and then the writing, as similar to what I've been telling you, the writing is organized into pre, while, yeah, yeah, and post. So they do something in preparation to the writing, yeah. They analyze a model and then they produce it. They produce a similar text, and then same as, yeah, the speaking. See, they complete. They make some notes. They prepare for it, and then they do it. And of course, our can do. Okay, guys, I will wrap up. Yeah, we said it. See, this is what makes the wrap up different. Yeah, so that the students take English outside the classroom. Okay, guys, so we are approaching, yeah, the final stage of our session. So there's a dedicated, or there was, I'm sorry, I lost track of the sessions for this session we've been having for you guys about books, about on the materials you teach your classes and Cambridge materials, let's say. But there is, or there was a session on Cambridge one. So I'm not sure if it is going to be later on today, Josadak. Would you please throw some light in? I just lost track of the calendar. But anyways, guys, if there's a recording on Cambridge One, yeah. So that you can get, yeah, a good hint of it. So I'd like to share now these additional resources. Please scan this code. Yeah. It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow, Josadak. Thank you very much. Tomorrow is the session on Cambridge One, guys. So I just mentioned it. So get ready for the session tomorrow. So guys, please scan this code. Yeah. So those are the life competencies activity cards for the book, the adult, yeah, segment, young adult segment. It's like this, guys. So activity cards, yeah. So, and of course that includes all an additional or ideas for activities that you can use with any lesson of Four Corners. Just make sure that there's some match with the description in the class. For example, here, creative thinking. Yeah. So it says after a reading or listening, which one? Can be anyone, right? After a reading or listening task in the coursebook, give each learner a piece of paper and ask them to draw an outline of their hand. Okay, so activities like these, guys, are in this set of cards I've just shared with you. That was creative thinking. This is critical thinking. Use a triangle framework like the one below to encourage learners to evaluate arguments and opinions they encounter in coursebook text. Yeah, so see, guys, learning to learn. I show you that Four Corners already includes some learning to learn, exercises. here you have some more ideas. Yeah, this is just one more idea. Write the following up, fill sentence on the board. Today I feel, yeah, about learning, but I would feel differently if, because, yeah, at the start and end of a lesson or longer tasks such as coursebook project, as learners to write the sentence in their notebooks and complete the gaps in a way that is true for them. Encourage them to share and discuss their sentences with a partner. Okay, so that is ideas for communication, for collaboration, yeah, social responsibilities, and of course, emotional development. All right, guys. So I'm sure that these activity cards are going to be very helpful, yeah, when you teach with 4 corners. It's already a very good course book, an interesting one, easy to teach, easy to learn with. Yeah. And now with this additional material, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be wonders with it. All right, guys. So just before we go, as a wrap up, yeah. So today we had a look at what 4 corners is, yeah. Yeah, its components. We took a look at the unit. I shared some ideas on how to teach with it, and I shared some additional resources. Don't forget, guys, that 4 corners will get your students communicating with confidence, enable them to easily measure the progress. So can-do statements at the end of every lesson, with this manageable grammar and vocabulary syllabus, with lots of recycling and language presented in context, with plenty of activities designed to get them to personalize the language, yeah, which is the warm up, yeah, and the speaking in lesson B, just some samples, yeah. So 4 corners will get your students communicating with confidence and enable them to easily measure the progress. So how we do it, plenty of opportunity to speak, including the quick pair review in the wrap up at the end of each unit, in the real world activities at the end of each unit, and the teach edition with complete assessment program. So there's this session on Cambridge One. We'll invite you to go and explore, and then you can take a look at the assessment program in Presentation Plus on Cambridge One. All right, guys. Unless you have any questions, if not, well, thank you very much. Don't forget to scan the code. Yeah, please scan the code for Josadakis already. Yeah. Leticia, the test program in 4 corners is quite complete. Is in Cambridge One. The only thing I can tell you that is very robust. Yeah. So and I'll invite you to go and explore it. Yeah, explore it on Cambridge One. Tomorrow in the session on Cambridge One, you will get the pointers on how to do it, and so that you can access to this material. All right, guys. So that is your certificate of attendance, and please, guys, tell us how we did today. Please share your feedback. Yeah, let us know how we did today. My colleague Joseph Dakis already shared these links in the chat box. Either you scan the code or you click on the link in the chat box. But please, guys, let us know how we did today. All right, that will be highly appreciated. All right, guys. And well, guys, that was it today. So we are pretty sure that your start with Cambridge will be brilliant. Okay, so I take the opportunity to thank you for your participation today. Yeah, and I look forward to seeing you hopefully next time in person. In the meantime, well, happy teachings and the best for this school year, this coming school year. Some of you have already started it, but may it be a best, yeah, school year. Guys, thank you very much and have a good one.